Now, today's podcast is going to be a more serious podcast, one in which is near and dear, close to my heart, because the last thing I want to do is to make it seem like in any way, any shape, any form that this is a joke or this is a laughing matter. Now, I'm sure I'm going to keep it me and keep it light, but just know that I am dead serious when I say that these false accusations against men must stop. All of that and more on The Radical Masculine. Unfortunately, today, women are able to lie on a man, get his kids taken away, get his life taken away, basically ruin everything, turn his life into pieces, and most importantly, get away with that. I mean, we've seen this with Amber Heard, but thank God Johnny Depp is worth 500 M's. Can you imagine the average guy, $40,000 or $50,000 per year? Do you think he would have a chance to have the type of legal team that Johnny Depp had? I don't think so. Or Brian Banks, the individual that had NFL aspirations but instead spent 6 years in prison over a false accusation. Now, the way he got out of it was he caught her lying. I guess she apologized to him, not to the police. She did not at this time retract her statement. She apologized to him via social media, and he used that against her and forced her to basically, I guess, put pressure on her to retract the statement because she was already caught. She was already busted in the lie. Now, if you do the research on it, it doesn't say that he caught her lying, that she just didn't openly and willingly retract the statement until she was forced to, and that's exactly what happened. But when you see it online, it says, oh yeah, she admitted that she fabricated the whole story, yada yada yada. Not to mention the punter, he goes by the punt god, Matt Araiza, something like that. He actually had false accusations against him while he was having a great training camp. He was from San Diego State. He was drafted by the Buffalo Bills, and he was making headlines for being this incredible punter. And shortly after these headlines came out that he was kicking ass, taking names, he was just a rookie, then all of a sudden, magically, he had some sort of accusations, and apparently they were brutal accusations. Now, the biggest thing to understand about all of the gentlemen that I just explained is that, for one, they have money. For two, they had some form of status or credit. But for three, all of the women wished to settle out of court, and when they refused to accept a lie or to accept being blackmailed, then that's when all of these accusations came to the light. So that has to tell you something. Now, the important thing to understand is there are men that are still doing time or attempting to fix their life for things that they never did. Even men that make it to the other side unscathed or make the best out of a bad situation, they lose credibility, they lose opportunities, they lose employment opportunities, and they lose an opportunity to live a normal life, even if all of these accusations were disproven in the court of law. Now, very rarely, if ever, do the women that make these false accusations have any consequences. And this is the reason why I'm quick to point out all of the entitlement with modern women these days. And it's because the fact that many women, they don't hear no in their life. Not by their parents, not by anyone. And this leads to an individual that feels like they cannot do any wrong, like their problems are outside of them, or They can say whatever, they could do whatever they want because they are them. A large percent of women say today they believe that their feelings are more important than a man's life. Modern women today believe them saving face is more important than a man living his best life, living his dreams, or at the very least, having a normal life. There are women that have taken advantage of men knowingly, and then the man breaks up with her or does something back to her, like maybe he cheats back or something like that, and immediately that woman feels he deserves to pay the ultimate price for how he made her feel. Now, this problem is bigger than just modern women. Don't get me wrong, modern women do play a huge role in the perception of boys and men. They do a great job of believing the propaganda and spreading it amongst the groupthink lady packs, but somewhere along the lines, all the boys and men in the United States have been portrayed as rapists, deviants, perverts, pedos, or all of the above, and women think at the very least that all men are at least capable of the above. Now, the United States has about the least amount of respect for men and masculinity, probably other than Canada, of course, but the Western world ideals have this baked-in perception of men that are backed by phony stats, unaccountable, entitled women that only care about themselves, they only care about what they think, and they only want what they want, and they treat men like they aren't even real people. Years back, I remember a girl I was messing around with, and a girl that I did a lot for, she told me that I don't even listen to my dad, so why would I listen to you? Now, years later, that seems to be about what I hear from most women, is that they don't listen to no men, their father in particular. Even if these men put them through college, take care of them, the lack of respect for men from women is at an all-time high. And I will say this, I do support the real victims, and I do believe that any man or any person who breaks the law and does a heinous crime to a woman, or a man, but a woman in this case, should be prosecuted to the full extent. But I will also say women as a gender have earned the reputation that we see in life, on the internet, on this video in particular, because women as a collective do not hold one another accountable for anything. They give each other terrible advice in general. They all believe anything a woman says rather than actually thinking critically, thinking rationally, and respecting the law and due process, and understanding that men have people that love them too. Men are no longer thinking or moving in a way that believes all modern women and tells them whatever they want to hear, because it all comes at the cost of a man. But I guess what's new in that case, right? So next we are going to be reacting to videos of women that falsely accused men, and we are going to break down and show why you can't just believe all women.
It was really bad because I was like, I felt so bad about it. I called like child services on this one.
Wow, it looks like she feels really bad. In fact, her tits are crying. Holy shit.
I called child services on my ex because he pissed me off. And then I was like, yeah, I'm done with this person, whatever, like, you know, cheater.
See, women will throw a man away and ruin his life to prove a point. Because throughout history, men have always been the ones that were egotistical and prideful. But these days, it's the fucking women. They cannot take an L. They can't handle whatever he was doing. And think about the lengths she was willing to go through to hurt him. Calling child protective services? Wow, this is terrible. Imagine if a man did that to a woman. He'd be in prison. This bitch is on a podcast laughing with their big, fake, nasty tits.
Fucking piece of shit.
Okay, they're kind of nice. But she said he's a cheater. Now, does cheating warrant a woman to attempt to ruin your life by getting your children taken away? Now, I seen a guy, he was reacting, and he said, I bet you any money this was a black man. A black man who was raising his kids, being a good father, and then some fucking bitch comes through who gets jaded over whatever. And I'm willing to bet this bitch cheated more than him. And then all of a sudden, he's such a terrible person to where she could call Child Protective Services and then laugh on a podcast. This is fucking despicable.
Lies about dumb shit. He had kids. I called child services on his ass, and I like fabricated everything and like censored things, and they like went to the door and like.
She thinks she's cute right now. She really thinks she's cute and that he's the one that fucked up. Like he was lying about stupid things, and she's just laughing, enjoying this shit. I hope somebody picks this up and decides to fucking prosecute this shit, because this is fucked up right here.
There was a whole process. Like, I don't even know if the children's aid worker still visits them, but she probably does, because what I sent, like the way I AI'd that shit, you know, like real AI shit, like fake bruises type shit.
This is why you don't mess with women like this. You don't mess with women that are porn stars, IG models, high body counts, modern women, women that are for the streets, city girl mentality, none of that shit. All the females that fucking dye their hair like this, they put fake eyelashes on like that, you need to avoid them because they are the fucking devil. Women like this will destroy a man and fucking laugh about it. And this is no laughing matter. Not to me, it's not. This is bullshit. This is why men all over the world, the United States especially, this is why men are just so over women. There are groups of men going to other countries to find women. There are guys like me who would only fuck bitches like this in a house that's fully recorded. So in case she tries to say some shit, you know, you can't set me up for no grape because it's all on tape, bitch. That's why we fuck them and leave them. And this is why men are over these hoes, man. Modern women are the fucking enemy.
I want the cops here right now. No.
Alright, so apparently this lady claimed that a little boy sexually assaulted her. She said that he grabbed her ass, and she's in front of this store. They call her Corner Store Caroline, but she accused a child, a poor little innocent child with a backpack on his back, that he sexually assaulted her. Now, these are modern women. Now, sure, she's a little bit older, but it's the same ideology. It's the same place of thought. It's the same fuck shit that we see. It's like a lot of these females with like red hair, they grew up to be this old bitch. This is sad.
The woman who caused a national uproar by falsely accusing a 9-year-old black boy of groping her is speaking out to...
That is terrible. Terrible. And she has the balls to do a fucking interview with Inside Edition. You think she really feels bad? Oh, I was misled. I felt what I felt in the moment, and I felt it was true.
Inside Edition.
What I felt was across both cheeks. I didn't know what had happened. That's right. The sun grabbed my.
So she said she felt a swoosh, but apparently right now she's saying, oh, I felt him grab my ass. Like, I felt him grab the inside where the ass cheek and the leg meet, and I felt him grab it, and then I felt a little finger right there. What a fucking piece of shit. I'll be honest, modern women, you don't look so good.
Lisa Klein got a brand new nickname when this video went viral.
Corner Store Carolyn.
The incident took place at this corner store in Brooklyn, New York. The boy, his mother, and his sister were here shopping after school, and Corner Store Carolyn was standing at the counter. The store's surveillance video shows what happened next. The boy accidentally brushed her with his backpack, but Corner Store Carolyn thought she'd been groped.
Go home.
Now, why would that little boy grope this ugly ass bitch? You know her ass hasn't been touched in years. But this is the reason why I said that women have earned the title and the lack of respect that men are beginning to give them. Because even the women who aren't the ones making the false accusations, even these women are not holding other women accountable. This is why women earn and deserve their reputation these days, because they don't say shit, they agree with women, they blindly back them up, and it's just like, hey, that's a little boy. That's why in my monologue I talked about men and boys, because we're all being attacked.
She said she was calling 911 as bystander Jason Littlejohn shot the confrontation. Should the police take action against her or others who call the police?
Absolutely. To all of them. False accusations, anything like that. We need to start holding these females accountable. Why do you think they do it? Because they know they can say whatever they want and then walk away like, oops, sorry.
Necessarily.
Definitely should, especially her. Number one, for calling on a 9-year-old boy, knowing that he did not grab her.
Corner store Carolyn apologized to the boy after screening the surveillance video. She's now written "Do not knock" on her apartment door.
What an entitled piece of shit. This is why I put women on blast for their entitlement, because it's ridiculous, and eventually it gets to this point here.
Regret that I escalated the situation. I should simply have said, "Don't touch me." I shouldn't have cursed.
I want the cops here right now.
But he didn't touch you. How about, I apologize because I didn't know what was going on. I should have known that a child wouldn't be grabbing an old white woman's ass, and I should have just let it go. Or I should have thought about the shit that I said before I said it. How about that? But no, she justified it like, I should have just simply said, "Don't touch me, you pig." What?
They go to jail for trying to holler at a bitch.
Why do you think that's so common?
What do I think? What's so common?
Like false accusations.
Because there's no repercussions for false accusers. That's why. That's why. This is why women continue to make false accusations, because they're not being punished for making false accusations. Andrew Tate. I was on Fresh and Fit, and Myron found video of the girls who claimed that they were raped by Andrew Tate after the time that they said that he was raped, dancing and twerking.
What?
Yes, you gotta watch that. Like, dude, we dispelled all of that bit by bit by bit. It's all a hit job. This is Andrew Tate, top G.
Right.
This guy doesn't have to rape anybody. He's got girls lined up around the block trying to get into his mansion. There is no reason for him to forcibly have sex with another woman when women want to do it already. Anytime a woman accuses a rapper or an athlete or a public figure of rape, it really, I'm not going to say that none of them are true, because there's the Darren Sharper situation. That was really bad. There was Kellen Winslow, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of these, like a good amount of these, are false. So you mean to tell, and it's funny, the story's all the same. We say, well, why didn't you go to the cops? Well, because I was ashamed. Oh, wait, so let me get this straight. You didn't want to go to the cops, but you're comfortable with sharing your harrowing story with your 27,000 Twitter followers? Fuck out of here.
I agree.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that red pilled me doing the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I just generally thought when women like said things like that serious that it was true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the more and more girls that I had on the show, that they would say these stories.
I was
right?
abused. Then you start asking questions.
I would immediately believe them. But
Right.
then a comment said, ask them, did they go to the police every time they bring that up?
There you go.
And I was thinking, good question. And I was just shocked by how many women said no.
Number 8. Faith Cox.
All right, before we get started, I wanted to say this. So I heard about this girl, Faith. The only way I knew her last name was Cox is by the smell on her breath.
Texas woman Faith Cox accused her boyfriend of assaulting her on September the 20th of 20.
She looks like the kind of girl that loves cocks. Not cock. Cocks. Multiple cocks.
2017, she alleged that Christopher Procopia had entered her home and attacked her with a box cutter.
Her own boyfriend. Imagine that. I'm seeing a pattern here on how women will even accuse their significant others of abusing their kids or raping them. Graping them, sorry. The funny part is this, is that when a woman is ready to throw away a man, she doesn't give no fucks. Imagine this. Imagine the girl that you loved, who loved you back, maybe your longest relationship. Remember that even she is capable of one day loving you and then the next day disposing you. So, that shit's cray.
Leaving cuts on her face and chest, Fox claimed that he'd carved an X into her skin before fleeing the premises. Police took Procopia into custody on charges of first-degree.
This poor son of a bitch. I hope he had money for a lawyer. If not, he could be in prison right now.
Felony burglary of a habitation with intent to commit additional felonies. He faced up to 99 years in prison for the alleged crimes. However,
and this is why I cannot believe all women, because I have to believe all men, even if it is at the detriment of believing innocent women, because women have done a good job of making men like me believe they are full of shit, and only they can be blamed for that.
A police investigation uncovered that Procopia was entirely innocent. A selfie that he'd posted on Facebook around the same time that Cox claimed he'd assaulted her proved that he was 70 miles.
Get a video recording set up, get it in your house, get it indoors, get it outdoors, and document everything. If you want to be a player in 2023, record everything. Not to put that shit on Pornhub later, which I have before, but they knew it. In fact, she was holding the camera. But you have to do it to protect yourself, because modern women are the closest thing to the devil since Lucifer himself. That's a fact.
Miles away from her home, an investigation into Procopia's text messages, cell phone tower pings, and witness reports confirmed his whereabouts and proved he hadn't been involved in the supposed attack. Moreover,
now imagine this. This guy hanging out with his family, living life, enjoying, taking pictures with him, his sister, his mom, and his dad. But meanwhile, back in their hometown, this crazy bitch is making false accusations on him. That's trash. These hoes is trash, bruvva.
Police discovered that it was really Cox who'd inflicted the cuts on herself to frame Procopia. In light of the findings, law enforcement arrested and charged Cox with the misdemeanor of filing a false police report.
I believe men need to attempt to enforce a law to where if a woman falsely accuses a man, she then gets the potential sentence he was looking at. Because this happens a lot more than you would fucking think.
She was ordered to pay a $2,000 fine and could have also been sentenced to up to 180 days in jail, but
it didn't happen, I bet.
To the plea bargain, which reduced her sentence to a year.
This is why women do 1/3 of the jail time as a man, but yet they scream, we're equal, we're on the same level. The fuck out of here.
Of probation. Number 7, Nikki Jovino. Teenager Nikki Jovino accused 2 college football.
She looks evil. Look at that look in her eye. And this is evil. Like, a lot of women want to see, well, you don't know what she was going through. You don't know how she felt. Maybe she felt that something bad had happened. That's bullshit. Look at her eyes. Man, I'm telling you, women these days, they're evil. And I got something coming with that, so I'm not trying to go into too much detail, but I got the fucking history of evil women coming soon. Only here on Radical Masculine.
Layers of abusing her while she was at a house party in New York on October the 15th of 2016. She alleged that the 2 men grabbed and took her into the basement bathroom where they forced themselves upon her. Following the accusation,
she does have some big ass titties, but those titties are nothing but trouble.
The players were both suspended from their football team and had their scholarships taken away. However,
oh, that's not bad. Unless she's lying. She's lying though, right?
According to the police, 18-year-old Jovino's story was riddled with inconsistencies, and she eventually admitted that her accusation.
Now imagine this. For all the accusations, all of the men that go to prison, imagine how many of them are fake. I have this theory. Now don't quote me. This is nothing against the actual victims because I do advocate for you as well. But I have this theory that women make false accusations on men more so than men actually commit these crimes. Now, I know men aren't innocent just because they have a dick, but I do know that according to the data and what we see and the inconsistencies and the consistencies with certain things, it sure seems that way.
Had been a lie. When interrogated, the men she'd named as her aggressors admitted to have had intimate relations.
On this podcast I seen a guy said that white women are usually okay with making false accusations against other minorities, black dudes, Latino dudes. And that shit's fucked up. I know I may look white, but shit, it's all about brown pride, baby. I mean, even black pride. I got all my men's backs out there in the world. That's why I am That's why I am a radical, masculine men's advocate. Fuck the rest.
With her, but maintained that it had been fully consensual. Witnesses at the party also claimed to have seen Jovino willingly enter the bathroom with them.
It usually is willingly consensual. Then they feel some type of way the next morning, like, oh, I have a headache, my head hurts, I have a hangover. I feel like they did something bad to me. You know what? Fuck it, I'm pressing charges.
And one attendee even audibly heard her say she wanted to sleep with both. After confessing, Jovino claimed,
thank God for the people that are honest in the world.
She'd made up the story in a panic because she didn't want to ruin her relationship with another man with whom she was romantically involved. Jovino thought,
yep, this is what they do. These fucking monkey branching fucking breezies, they do this shit. And many a times what they'll do is they will mess around with the guy and then tell the guy that they're currently really messing around with, he did something to me. This is how men get hurt and killed.
Her fabrication would cause her love interest to be compassionate towards her and angry at the two men instead. She was charged with second-degree falsely reported.
See, black athletes, these poor fuckers.
An incident and tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, resulting in a sentence of 1 year in jail and 3 years of probation.
Well, that sounds like it's better than nothing, but this bitch should have got 10 years in prison. That's why we need to pass a law to minimize and to discredit women lying. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I get it. They want to be delicate with the women that something bad really does happen to them. But these days, all we see is cap and bullshit.
Number 6. Gemma B.
And that's why the women where something bad really does happen to them and no one takes them seriously, this is why they should not be mad at men. They should be mad at fucking females. Because they are the ones that have put this out there in the world for us to see and say, oh, that's cap. That's bullshit.
In August of 2017, a 25-year-old London woman was sent.
She should be glad anybody who is willing to put their dick anywhere near her. Holy shit. She looks like the white Kool-Aid man. The albino Kool-Aid man. Breaking the law. Ha ha ha.
To jail for 10 years after making several false abuse allegations over the course of several years.
Wow, this is beautiful. We need this case law and we need to post it everywhere to say, hey, this is what they do when they deal with this fuckery. We should do that too. We're in America, the greatest country in the world. This fat bitch couldn't get fucked even if she paid for it.
Between 2010 and 2013, Gemma Beale claimed to have been abused by 15 different men in 4 different incidents.
I bet you those 15 men were the only dick she's ever had. And she wasn't grateful. So what did she do? She was like, you know what? The 15 men that were brave enough to slay this dragon, you know what? I feel like they abused me and used me and misused me. I'm filing a police report.
The men she'd accused in 2010 was Mahad Kasim, who was wrong.
Holy shit. And here's the sad part, is the poor guy who did it, you know, he was slumming it. We all know she was the slump buster. A slump buster is when you haven't had sex in a while as a guy, and you fuck something, you know, you shouldn't fuck, but you do it. Because after you fuck her, you know that your luck's about to change, and you're gonna start getting more attractive women. That used to be my thing. I've fucked a couple of slump busters in my days, you know, to where it was like, you know, it was a sad 3 or 4 months. I wasn't getting it. I was going out. I was trying, and then I'd call over a slump buster. Come on over. She'd come, and after I came and she came, then you know, I kicked her out. And I was embarrassed about her walking out, so I'd fucking turn all the lights off. I'd fucking sneak her out the back door like a fucking high-profile celebrity. And then I'd get her the fuck out of there. I don't want nobody to see what the fuck I'm doing. Actually, funny story. One night, I picked up a slump buster, and I brought her home. And I was living with my mom at the time. And so I went downstairs to make sure it was all clear. And then apparently I had family visiting from Texas. And they're like, "Oh, Hito, how are you? Come here, come here." And then right behind me was this girl, Winona. She was like 5'3", 245, maybe not 245, but maybe like 215. I don't know what it was. It was bad. You know, give me a break. I was like 20 years old, and I just broken a bunch of hearts. But anyway, so she came down right behind me. And they're like, "Oh, who's your friend? Is that your girlfriend?" And then my mom's like, "Do you want to get some breakfast, Hita?" And I was like, "No, Mom, no, no." But I'm like, "No, she hates people." And then I rushed her out the fucking front door. And then it was funny because like 2 days later, she's like, "I think I left my ID in your car." Because she wanted to come back for more. And I was like, "Oh, no. God, no. God, no." So I threw her ID away, and I blocked her. Because she did leave her ID in my car. But I think she did it on purpose, because it looked like, you know, purposely tucked, you know.
Fully sentenced to 7 years in jail. However, in July of 2015, his conviction was reversed, and he was set free after investigating.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad she's free. She deserves it. Holy shit, a beautiful bird like that deserves to fly free. Beautiful. Okay, so that is going to conclude our reactions and our opinions on how modern women are just out of hand these days. So remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching The Radical Masculine, and I'll see you tomorrow.